you get both of us in the same frame?
Well, no. Actually, no, I'm totally kidding. You good? Yeah, you good.
You're giving it all, but no one really sees you yet. On top of the ball, you're making the calls. You're getting it in, but still you seem to hit the wall. But they still seem to love your messed up, jaded soul that keeps on moving along. Hey, you're looking what you got cooking. Need another beat.
Hey guys, welcome back to FnA Van Life. Frankie's behind the camera. I'm Alex, and this is Justin and his awesome bus, Pacific Pioneer. You guys are gonna love it. Take it away.
Yeah, I'm Justin. This is my bus. I call it just Turbo, but Pacific Pioneer for the full name. It's a CE200 from International. It's the 24-foot bus. Took about a little over a year to convert, and now I've just been kind of traveling weekends, week-long trips throughout the summer and having a great time, especially here at Wolfpack Roundup. This was a handicap bus. Before, it has the big handicap door that there used to be a wheelchair ramp in, and I wanted to keep it open because I just love that you can kind of just open up the whole wall. So I'll strap this back even if I'm driving, and I'll sit in this chair, and so it's really fun. Like, I'll do it on like Forest Service roads or kind of mountain highways, but not on like the freeway or anything.
Yeah, that sounds sketchy.
Where you're going too fast. But
so like if someone else is driving.
if someone else is driving, but it's really fun. And then this seat also, it'll slide forward all the way, and then it turns into a shotgun seat.
Oh, cool.
Which is nice. So I can, eventually I want to get little stairs, so if I'm set for the night, I can just slide this forward and just use this big door as kind of the big opening. And then having the shotgun seat's awesome just to have someone next to you, because in kind of bus travels, that was the main complaint I saw, was that people didn't like not being able to talk to someone right next to them. In RVs and sprinters where you have someone right next to you, but yelling behind you never really works out great, so it's much better having someone right next to you. The deck I put on is all cedar just for lightweight, and then I stained it. No real metal work involved. It's all just ankle brackets and rivet nuts bolted through into the ribs of the bus, so it's very secure. It's like 12 feet long and 7.5 feet wide, so lots of room up there. Haven't done it yet, but if I ever have too many for sleeping inside the bus, I'll just throw a tent up on top. And then I put 2 tules up there as well. I'm gonna do snowboarding in the winter, and so I need somewhere to hold snowboards for me and my friends when we go up to the mountains. And then I also put some solar on top of the tules, kind of 2 birds, 1 stone in terms of, you know, usable space on the top of the deck. So I have 300 watts of solar, which is more than enough than I need, because I run most of my appliances off of propane, so it's mainly just my sound system, my lights, and 1 small fridge that I do my electricity off of. Inside here, I kept like the driver area pretty much the same, just new coat of paint, new chairs. The original bus chairs are really uncomfortable, so I don't know why they do that to their bus drivers for school districts, but got new ones from a old trailer off Craigslist. Got this couch from an RV pull-apart. So there's stuff behind it right now, so I can't pull it out, but it just jackknifes down. It takes like 2 seconds. So if it's just me in here, I'll just sleep on the couch because it's much easier. There's another bed in the back, but it takes a little longer to convert. My girlfriend did all the sewing in here, so she did like all the curtains, which are thermal curtains, because it gets, you know, the windows I wanted to keep because I like that you can see everything, but they're terrible for heat insulation. So she did the curtains, she did this new kind of outdoor themed fabric, just because I kind of wanted like a cabin in the woods type of vibe for here, and this just had a terrible RV print beforehand. Just come on, Diego, off the couch. And then moving over here, just tile countertop, Dickinson marine heater. I think this is the P9000. Works awesome. Has a built-in fan to help dissipate all the heat. This is off propane, and then under here is my cook stove. So it's 2 burner. It's a Camp Chef. Each burner has like 20,000 BTUs, so it's super strong. I can get a pot of water boiling really quick, and then just having this extra kind of countertop's really nice for having like my prepped ingredients right here. Or if my back bed is converted into a table, I just will have this to eat at, and you can eat 2 people here comfortably. So.
Speakers are hot. You're working a lot, and now it's time to take a shot. And you know that they love that messed up, jaded soul that keeps on moving along. Hey, you're looking what you got cooking. Need another beat for all these holy people. They don't need a resolution.
Coming back a little further, got a big double bay sink. So growing up, my parents had a little RV, but you could barely fit, you know, 1 pan in it to clean. And so with lots of extra space in the bus, I knew I just wanted a big double bay. So just a couple inches of hot water in here. Comes from propane hot water heater. And then I'll do my scrubbing, rinsing, and then I have a pop-up dish drying rack. So it's just a very easy station for all the cleaning I need. No full bathroom in here. Under the counter, you just saw I have a Lugaloo toilet for emergencies. And then for showering, I have a detachable shower head that comes off the hot water heater. So I'll throw this out the window and then just shower outside.
Hey, you're looking what you got cooking. Need another beat for all these holy people. They don't need a resolution. They just need a little music.
To the other side, the fun part of the bus. I worked in the restaurant industry for a long time, so always kind of around bartenders and people making drinks, and I've always kind of liked to use drinks as a way to welcome someone, which is the ideal for the bus, to build it in a way that I can invite people over, make new friends, and give them a drink. So eventually I'd like to do it as everywhere I go I get bottles local. So I just was here at the Wolfpack Roundup. We're just south of Bend, so I got this Crater Lake Prohibition gin, and then eventually I want to do that, so just like local bottles from everywhere, so it'll be kind of like a travel itinerary of where I've been. And then just little mason jars screwed in to the top. Lots of people do it with spice jars as well. It's great for just kind of the aesthetics, but they unscrew really easily as well, and then they're not jiggling around the whole time. I wanted plants, but I'm not good at taking care of them. Snake plants are impossible to kill pretty much, so if anyone needs plants for their bus or van and wants an easy going one, that's your best route.
How do you keep it on there while you're driving?
So the planter itself was empty, and I just put 3 screws just straight through into the countertop. Wow. This whole countertop's an old piece of cedar that I got off Craigslist and sanded for a long time, and then a couple coats of polyurethane on top just for some toughness and a nice glossy finish. Just a little fridge here, so got 2 fridges. I pretty much only use this one. I just keep ice in the top for cocktails, all my food in the bottom. This just ends up being dry storage because I don't really need to use both. And I keep like trash can under on this side, all my cleaning supplies under the sink, and then this will be like pots, pans, all my clothes are in the top couple. So lots of different storage options. Just some cocktail glasses here. So I just got this from like a little thrift store, and I put some foam in the inside, so the foam just presses down the cocktail glasses so they never fall out and I can use them when I need them. And then 4 overhead cabinets. They're just identical to each other. So this is like, I use tools if I ever break down and need to do a repair. This one I have is kind of like my charging hub, so I do a lot of photography and videography, and so I need lots of chargers. So then in here, a little messy right now, just little tap LED light, and then in the back corner I have 4 USB outputs, so I can charge lots of things in the back. Got the emergency hatch still back here, which I will open if it's warm and nice, just for like a little sunroof. Makes it feel much more open in here. I do use it as a vent a lot as well, which is nice.
But your deck is kind of over it.
Yeah, so my deck isn't over this one actually.
Oh, okay.
So I could still climb out of this if I ever roll over. Hopefully never comes to that, but my deck
both
is
of them covered,
yeah.
or?
So my deck is over the top one.
Right.
So I cannot open the front. Eventually, when I'm done being lazy, I will cut the part of the deck out and then put hinges on it, so I will be able to hinge the deck up and open that. Some more LED lights under here, and this is my big back kind of dinner entertainment table, so I can seat 6 people back here comfortably. There's seatbelts for everyone. I have 11 total seats in the bus, and every seat has a seatbelt. So it's legal to have everyone in here. This back bench seat also converts into a bed. So this folds down, and then the pillows from the back fold on top of the table, and I have one more little piece that I add on. So it's about the width of a queen, but it's 7.5 feet long. So it's much longer than a queen bed is actually. So it's the biggest bed I've ever slept on, and I love it. Under the seats, this is just my water tank under this side. I kept the original bus heater as well, just for, you know, winter trips. I wanted to keep all the heat options I could, and you know, it's a big distance from the front to the back, so I wanted anyone riding back here to be comfortable as well. And then this is just all my electronics under this side. You can kind of see some of the things poking out right here. So carbon monoxide, propane, and smoke detector, which is very important. I would definitely get one if you are running all sorts of propane materials that release carbon monoxide, or like I even had a propane leak off one of my hoses, and this saved me when I was working, and 3 a.m. it was going off and I had to go shut off the propane. Dimmer switch for my LEDs. This is for my battery inverter. So I have a 2000 watt Renogy inverter, and then that is powered by 440 amps, or 440 amp hours of 12 volt batteries. Also gets fed from the solar, and I do have it connected to my bus's battery bank up front. So when the bus is on and running, I'm charging my back batteries, also getting charged from the solar, so they're always running at a pretty high capacity. I knew I wanted to do a wood ceiling, but I didn't really want to spend the money for tongue and groove cedar, or tongue and groove pine. So this is just 4x8 sheets of really thin plywood. That then the process is called fractal burning. You can look it up online if you're interested on how to do it. I would make sure you are comfortable doing it first, because you can kill yourself in the process if you are uncareful.
What?
But you get, yeah, so it's
Like you electrocute yourself?
yeah. So what you're using is really high voltage electricity, and you're burning the wood with the electricity. So it is a slightly dangerous process. You need to be a little bit careful, but the results are awesome. I made it through, you know, I think it took 25 hours of burning for all the sheets. And the ceiling took the longest of any part of my build by far, but I'm really happy with it. It was super cheap. It just took a lot of work hours, but it's definitely, I think, the most unique part of my build. I've yet to see someone else have the fractal burn ceiling. It's popular with countertops. I was gonna do that before, but it just was a way to make the plywood a little bit more interesting, and then it's just finished with some Danish oil and then some molding to cover up all the screws. Lots of different decorations for the kind of like outdoor theme. So got some antlers in the front, got the arrows here. My grandpa was a missionary, and he got these from a tribe somewhere down in the Amazon. I'd like to know where, but they actually were used by the tribe, which is cool because they're authentic arrows. They're not, you know, picked up from a gift shop somewhere, and they were just sitting in my family's garage, and I was like, that would be perfect for the bus. So got some decorations over here. And then on the other side, just same thing, some bull horns, and then a goat horn my friend gave me. So on the start of any trip, if someone is on the trip who hasn't been in the bus before, I will pour them a shot into the goat horn, and they have to do a toast to the trip. Just kind of fun way to mess with people, but I like it.
Our big question is why van life?
Growing up, my family's kind of idea of a vacation was a road trip. And you know, sometimes at the time I wasn't the most excited for them, but I think everything kind of comes full circle. And you know, the outdoors are my favorite now. I do a lot of hiking, getting more into cold water snorkeling now because I live in Washington and it's freezing. But I wanted something that I could kind of make exactly how I wanted. My parents' RV is always falling apart. I can't stand up in it. The buses have really nice clearance, and I just wanted something that I could make completely my own, but also have enough room to take whoever I want with me. So that's kind of the reason for the size of the bus. But I usually do need people with me because the gas mileage is so terrible.
You gotta split the bill.
Yeah, it's expensive. I get like 8.5, which I think I get the worst out of every bus I've talked to.
Oh no.
Which I don't know why.
I feel like 8's pretty common.
I've heard. I think I do go faster than most people, which is where I'm going wrong.
Yeah.
I usually cruise like at 65, which I think is most people have said they're right around 55.
But you're still like working in the city, and so this is like a weekend warrior.
Yeah,
kind of
pretty
thing?
much. So I built it not with the intention to live in it full time. I'd probably have a full bathroom and, you know, permanent shower if I was. So that's, you know, why I can seat 11 people instead. I use it, you know, for the summer I did a couple week-long trips, which were awesome, down through Oregon. I'd love to go back through Canada, but, you know, borders closed right now. But I do a lot of astrophotography with my friends, so we'll take this up to a trailhead, sleep in it the night before, and then get up really early. So it just makes it much easier to be able to take something that you can sleep in and then hike out of and then come nap in when you're back. It's just because astrophotography takes it out of you anyways, because you're just hiking through the night anyways.
Yeah. It's astrophotography like of stars?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you gotta wait till it's very, very dark out, which in the summer is hard because it's, you know, you can't actually see the Milky Way in the winter, which is difficult. So you have to do it in the summer, but you know, it can be light. You gotta wait till, you know, sometimes like 1, 2 o'clock till it's super dark out, till you can see all the good stars.
So do you think that you would ever want to live in it full time?
Yeah, so I actually would like to live in it full time now. The issue is that I live north of Seattle and all of the cities have ordinances against living in RVs, motorhomes, school bus conversions. You can pretty much only stay in one person's property for 2 weeks for 2 times, but you have to split that up between 6 months.
It's very complicated.
It is complicated, so you know, you get one complaint from a neighbor and you have to go. And it's not really an area that I feel safe moving it around all the time, leaving it on the street. You know, I had a card stolen from my driveway before, and I think something like this where I do have lots of nice like photography equipment, I have a laptop, they're not things I want to leave kind of.
Do you think that you'll get to a point where you're like, all right, I'm out of the city?
Yeah, like
You
what's
know,
keeping you in
What's
Seattle?
keeping you in Seattle?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I could move. I do like being somewhat close to the city, and now I don't work in a restaurant anymore, but I did for a really long time. So working in one in the city that was really busy, little expensive, more expensive, helped me just because I got much more tips, and that's what kind of funded this whole project. Because I could live in here. It wouldn't be hard.
I mean, I feel like anybody can live in this bus. This thing is dope.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
We're at the Wolfpack Roundup obviously right now. This is the first time I've met other van life or bus life people, and I've only been using my bus for, you know, 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
And I've been chatting with people for, you know, the last year online through Instagram, getting tips, you know, seeing what works for them in their bus, what works for them in their van, and you know, it's finally good to meet people in person. And like, this is the most welcoming community I think there is.
Right.
You know, I think Frank, me and you were talking about like back home where, you know, I live, I don't know some of my neighbors as well as I know these people I met, you know, 2 or 3 days ago.
Yeah, right.
Which is just a crazy thing, but everyone's just so excited for each other, which is awesome, and so willing to, you know, be there and help each other.
big shout out for showing your bus. We really
Yeah.
appreciate it. Yo, throw a like and a comment below. Just tell him the things that you really like about his bus. You know, I want to know because we're building something new, so we might take some ideas from here.
Yeah,
I want the
you can take
heater.
the bar.
Yeah, we can take the bar, right?
Have some fun.
Mine would be a different type of bar,
Yeah,
but you
we
know.
got some LaCroix for years.
Yeah, cool. Well, thank you guys so much once again. We'll see you in the next video.
Thank you.